Hello, it's Jessica Amala, and I'm back with your weekly reading for the Divine Feminine Energies. This is for November 9th to, I guess, November probably 16th or 17th. So I am here for a lovely, intimate conversation with all of you. I said I would be here earlier, and I fell asleep putting my daughter to bed straight up. So I am still getting over the time change of coming back from the Pacific Coast to the East Coast. And I had a long flight, and I always find it's a little harder coming back than it is going there. So I apologize for being late, but I look forward to you receiving this when it is meant for you to receive this beautiful video. And whoever can get on live on this beautiful late Saturday night at 11:11 to really feel the depth of these frequencies and this beautiful portal leading up to our beautiful 11:11 this week. You are most welcome to join us. So, yes, it's a big week. We have an 11:11 portal right around the corner. There is a massive amount of beautiful light and love and high plasma frequencies that are coming in at this time, providing massive amounts of DNA upgrades for all those who are able to receive them in the fullest of their capacity. It is a time to meditate, be still, allow, receive. You will know if you are having, to do that, but you need to listen. There is also the possibility that you might be able to multitask a little bit more and receive a lot of these codes while you are doing other things. But if you really feel called to be more still, it's very important to honor that and to really listen to that. So, especially at this time, with this 11:11 portal, which really we're kind of, I would say at this point, we're like already in the energy of it as of now, and into through the 12:12 portal, and then the solstice, and then the new year, which is going to be a brand new beginning that we have on January 1st into these 2020 energies of balance, of more rapid awakening, rapid consciousness expansion, and really moving into a very new life based on our new ways of perceiving and thinking and being. So, yes, and it is beautiful. So I want to just, like, before I get into the cards, I want to speak a little bit about my experience this past week in Mexico. I participated in an incredible coaching program called Next Level Coaches, and it was really a very perfect ending to the entire experience. Well, it's actually technically not fully over yet, but we really did some very deep healing work. We did some really, really powerful breakthroughs, personal breakthroughs around things to do with our past hurts and traumas that can often be very difficult to fully get to and reach on our own. I also met up with some incredible healers, and we combined our talents to do some incredible womb healing work that not only shifted for the recipient, but also for the entire group, for our entire tribe, was uplifted by that healing that was done on the womb. And this is directly in alignment with my divine feminine soul mission and my trip to Machu Picchu last year on 11/11/2018, which is a numerological 11 as well. And I was really calling in the healing of all the wombs, of all the women in the world, in order to elevate all of us collectively, all of humanity, into a fifth dimensional experience of earth, of heaven on earth. And I was just called to do that really by my, we'll just say my galactic self, my galactic guides. And after what happened at this beautiful event, it really confirmed for me the power that one womb can have and the healing that one womb can have to shift the energy for an entire group, for an entire community or tribe. It really is powerful. And I set that intention a year ago, and now coming full circle, I see how that has really come into fruition. Really, it's really the first fruit of the intention that I seeded last year, seeing it actually manifest exactly as I maybe would have hoped it would have. So it's really beautiful. There's a lot of amazing things coming. And all of this is, all of these confirmations and experiences and connecting with tribe, connecting with soul family, finding your soul family, connecting with like-minded people is really birthing a deeper level of self-love and self-acceptance, because through those mirrors, through those reflections of love and appreciation and gratitude by others, it provides a level of confirmation for what you're already really experiencing inside of yourself, and it enhances the beauty of the self-love that you've already been fostering. So there's a lot of wins that I put in my earlier preview post, twin wins, and it really is. There's a lot of twin wins in terms of really coming into the full beauty of what it really means to be on a twin flame journey, and how that really manifests into so many gifts and beautiful partnerships and relationships that perhaps maybe were not available or accessible before having gone on the journey. And, regardless of how that ultimately ends up in terms of outcomes with a particular person, it really does confirm the value of the journey in and of itself and what it provides. So I think that's a beautiful introduction, and welcome to the energies today. It's awesome to have you here, and we're going to pull some cards. So I was called actually to pull out, I have not in a while drawn from my Magical Dimensions Oracle deck. These are by, I'm going to show you the book, telling me to show you the book, by Lightstar. These are really powerful cards. They have really high vibrational energies. And I feel like we're kind of a little bit more there now energetically, in terms of, there's a lot of angel vibes starting to come through after this trip. A lot of, really, really just strong angelic currents coming through. Very high vibrational energy that is opening up from the cosmos at this gateway. So these cards, because they are so kind of high vibe, it feels like they're a little more vibing with a larger collective vibe, I think, at this point. And so I hope that you really enjoy them and what they want to bring to this reading. So I'm going to ask for an overall energy for the Divine Feminine for the week, and we will go from there. So, and we're going to call in the highest, wisest, and most benevolent living guides of everybody watching this video, as well as the Lemurian priestesses, the fairy realms, the crystal caves at the center of the earth, and your womb wisdom. All right, in the highest. So what do we have here? Overall energies for the week. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so first, and definitely I think this is also super relevant, we've got third eye portal. We've got vision, clairvoyance, clarity, and the negative is, potentially confusion. And combined with dreamscapes, which is amazing, it says here, dreamwork, subconscious imagination. And then last, we have a bit of a separate energy, forgiveness. And it says redemption, rebirth, regeneration. So this forgiveness, is something that we talked about last week. And it came up last week, the importance for forgiving. And it's something that I have talked about, I think, quite a bit, and why that's important for yourself, regardless of, how you might feel about the character of any other people in your life that you feel have wronged you. This whole energy of releasing and bringing in your higher wisdom to forgive is going to help really activate that tree of life consciousness for yourself and bring those this wisdom online for yourself. I see actually because we talked to, we had the Tree of Life card from the Goddess deck come last week, and then up in the top was the owl, and the owl was representing all of the wisdom. And here, this face is, I feel very much with the area around her third eye opening up. She's really coming into her wisdom through forgiveness. She's opening her third eye through the process of coming to completion, letting go and forgiving for what occurred, what's transpired, that was difficult, that was hard, that caused a lot of pain and suffering. But the gift that's being born at the end of all of that is this third eye opening and an increase in psychic abilities, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and that really being something that is not only part of your evolution, but something that you can assist others with as they are going on this journey themselves in order to fully open more to the process of ascension and integrating like all of your higher aspects, becoming more multidimensional and upgrading your DNA to the highest capacity possible for you as you go in order to live your highest timeline and bring everything up into the highest vibration possible for your experience, which has less density in the physical and brings in more spiritual. So I've heard people say, we can be up to like in 5D, as if we were to be fully in 5D, if we got there, we would be about 50% physical and 50% spiritual. And so that would make our whole reality existence a lot more malleable in terms of how we operated in the physical. It would be very, very light. There'd probably be like, people would probably be able to levitate very easily. It would be very, very different than like how we currently experience things now, because we're still operating within a collective consciousness that's still operating in separation and is dense. But by being, a frequency holder for all of these higher codes, you're helping to like bring that in for a greater collective, for the collective, which is allowing kind of being in a way that light, that candle in the dark room that's just snuffing out the dark, or that's just sort of dissolving the densities of 3D for everybody, regardless if they're even really understanding what's going on with the process, or even if they might be resisting it. So the next card that we've got here, the last overall energy, is the Dreamscape card. And it's a number 10. And she's got this like beautiful, she is kind of in this beautiful portal herself with her cat. And then she's got all of this like energy rising up like a vortex of sparkling white light. And she's activated, her butterfly self. And there's also a crow overhead, which is a sign of like information coming in, wisdom coming in. And then all of this solar light, this solar fire in the background. So yeah, there's a lot going on in terms of like she's kind of really tapping into the elements, to the spirit animals, to the crystals, to all like the natural world, to the sun, and even to they've got trees in the background. She's really tapping into everything and like integrating that into her being in order to really like have these more profound dreams and to actually do more deeper visioning work that is creating more possibilities in her life and expanding her imagination. And we also have subconscious on this card. So like something about, I feel like this has a lot to do with like rewriting the subconscious, which is something that if you ever do a deeper dive into Joe Dispenza's work, you'll learn a little bit more about how we can reprogram our subconscious to create a new reality for ourselves. Because most of what we experience in our lives is based on the 95% of thinking that happens that we don't really even know, that we're not aware of in our subconscious mind, which is all based on things that have happened in the past. But when we start to, connect with what's possible and program that through our theta state into the subconscious mind, we can actually, take these creative visions and inspirations that are opening up. I think from from opening our third eye, from having done that process, really getting some amazing visions that we can then imprint into the subconscious and into our dreams, and start to really create new visions that are much more exciting than what we have had the capacity to do in the past. And I do really just feel like the animal spirits are assisting a lot with this, especially with that crow there. So, the raven, especially with that raven there. Because ravens are also a sign, like the owl, of like a lot of wisdom, and I think they providing a really, really high perspective. And again, I think that has to do with a lot of third eye activation this week and pineal gland activation. So that's really exciting. I know I experienced a lot of that. Sorry about my cat Isabella. I experienced some very profound third eye activation, pineal gland activation this week myself. And so it makes sense that this is coming online for whoever's watching this at this time. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull some Rider-Waite, and we're going to pull some cards for kind of look at what's going on this week overall for the feminine energy. So I hope everyone's having an amazing week. I hope that you do share about your experiences and what's going on for you. I feel like, just looking at what's kind of coming up in the pre-shuffle, like there's a lot of change towards things that are like a lot more fulfilling, and potentially new partnerships, new relationships, new love. Kind of releasing, I think, some of the difficult, heavy emotions in the past that were keeping things unstable. So yeah, because the Wheel of Fortune keeps wanting to pop out. I'm going to throw it back in the deck, but it's been coming out a lot lately. There's a lot of change occurring because of all of these. I'll just say, like, there's a level of like achievement in terms of like frequency and awareness that is kind of like caused like the wheel to turn, and like things are opening up into like a lot of I guess illumination and wishes fulfilled in that new energy. So it's very positive. It's a very good time. So let's get a card for like what is going on at the beginning of the week for the feminine. And what's going on, what else is going on at the beginning of the week? And then what else is going on in the middle of the week for the feminine? What else is going on in the middle of the feminine? And what do we have going on at the end of the week for the feminine? And what else is going on? Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah. So the beginning of the week is still kind of a bit of this like difficult energy. We've got the Four of Cups reversed and the Five of Wands. And so there's some sort of, there's some sort of big resistance to receiving, and it could be something that is emotional. Like, we had this coming up actually for the feminine last week, where there were some like hostilities coming through, which is that's the Five of Wands, is all about like hostile communications with others. And I remember like there was this sense of like self-sabotage in terms of like the feminine being, potentially having some hostile energy and not being open to receiving from others in some form. And so something to still be kind of aware of at the beginning of the week and to make note of it. There could be some events that are coming up that are causing this. Again, we did get the forgiveness card coming up. So like there might be like some of this sort of hostile fighting energy could be like a residual thing that is being held on to from things past, you know, that need to be forgiven, that need to be let go. In order to open yourself to receiving love that's available for you now. And it's just like, this could just be the universe reminding you that it's important that you do this. So I hope that makes sense. Then in the middle of the week, we've got the Sun card and the Hermit, which is beautiful. And I feel like, you know, the Sun card is one of the most auspicious positive cards in the deck, especially receiving it upright. And the Hermit's also very positive in terms of moving forward as the spiritual teacher, as the authority, you know, forging your own path. Probably, I would say, like, if there's anybody in your life that you're still trying to feel like you're battling out with in terms of, it could be like, you know, a soulmate, a twin flame, or anyone else that is, you just think things are not resolving, like you're not really getting the results or agreements that you're looking for. This is just about like moving towards the light, like in every way, moving, because there's a lot of fulfillment in coming and there and available. Potentially, you know, with a partner, this could be a new relationship. This could be something to do, very positive to do with good news in family. It can also signal, you know, new births, or the birth of new projects to do with the light. To do with light work, any of those things. So with these two cards together especially, I definitely think it could be the birthing of some special light work related projects. And I can confirm that from some of my own experiences in the present moment. So that's very exciting to see that coming up. And then we've got here for the end of the week energy, we've got the Three of Cups with the King of Pentacles. So there's some sort of cause for some sort of celebration, which has to do with the incoming of some sort of stability and abundance. It could be that there is some sort of celebrating with another person who really embodies this King of Pentacles energy, a very successful and abundant person, both financially, but also a very kind and caring, strong, generous, loving leader. And that it could be that is some other person that there'll be some sort of reason for celebration with. And you might also be, again, stepping forward into leading the way and following your path. That is also, I think, potentially going to really like open you up to this energy of stepping into that for yourself and allowing yourself to, you know, celebrate and receive with others and really with your community. And I think the importance of you know, celebrating with your soul tribe and finding your soul tribe is really important right now. It's really central to making the most and raising the energies as much as you can. So those are like the overall kind of, that's like your little mini guide for the week. And then let's dive a little bit deeper with some advice by going into the Akashic Tarot. So thanks everyone for coming on at this late hour. Really appreciate having you here. As you know, all of these videos are also now getting uploaded to YouTube. So not only can you watch the playback on Facebook, but if you're like strapped for time and you want to watch the video at a 2x speed or like a 1.5x speed, you can now, like, I'll post the link in the comments and you can watch the video at a faster speed if necessary, if you're short on time, through the YouTube option. Because right now, as far as I know, you can't watch videos at a faster speed on Facebook, which I think is a little bit of a glitch when you are trying to do a lot of things. Well, I love watching readings at a normal speed. You know, sometimes it's if you've got a lot going on, it's handy to be able to speed it up. So, all right. So, what's the advice for the feminine for the week? What's the advice? Yeah, and what else is the advice for the feminine for the week? Love it. And what else is the advice for the feminine for the week? Yeah. So, I also forgot to say in the last deck, but I want to show you the underside of the deck was the star card upright. So yeah, definitely reiterating that whole idea. And it's actually, there's a reason why I said it now, because the underside of the deck for the Akashic Tarot is wishes fulfilled, which is so this basically the same message for both, and they both came out upright. So very strong message of wishes being fulfilled this week, and this whole thing that came to me for the channel for the title, the original intro to the video as twin wins. So there's some wins coming. It's really exciting. So the first card for the advice is Adsum 22, and this is all about opening up to hear the voices of your angels, guides, and ancestors, the fairy realms. And a lot of this, I think, is coming through that pineal gland activation that I was speaking about. So I would really make it a point to have that quiet time this week to really focus on doing some pineal gland meditations and going inside, just meditating in general, connecting with your guides. It's really going to assist you a lot in getting more clarity and communication that is going to help you with whatever wishes you want to manifest at this time, in whatever way that kind of works for you, whether that's to do with things to do with advancing your career, your relationships, opening your creativity, opening, even just how you might be best using your blossoming, clairvoyant, or intuitive or psychic abilities, all of those things. So, and then we've got as well the karmic trench reverse for the advice. So really focus on releasing the past. Again, this whole thing about I really think it's important to bring back up the forgiveness card with the karmic trench, because there's this really strong message that if we want to really get out of the karmic cycle and move forward fully, we need to forgive for ourselves. And by releasing all those old energies, we're getting out of those dense, stuck karmic cycles and moving forward. Also, yeah, another 4 cards. That's pretty cool. So in reverse. So I think sometimes those old foundations that were really very solid but had issues with them, cracked, the cracks in the foundation, because 4 is a foundational number. I think that's all kind of really coming to light to get cleared and released this week. So, as the advice, just really focus on releasing those old cycles, on really getting the clarity, the higher clarity about what of those foundations that was, kept repeating problems, cycles with partners, ex-partners, the problems with work, or regardless of what it is you're doing, but just certain problems that you see repeating in different work that you do, or different employment, different jobs, and really getting the clarity on what that is and how to fully release it so you can fully move forward free of all of those karmic cycles into having all of your wishes fulfilled. I hope that made full sense. And the last card we've got is Balance, 7 of Forces. And this is all about coming into some justice, coming into your fullness of your balance. I also really feel this has to do with the balance of your, coming into the balance of your masculine and feminine energy in order to bring about that justice and your wishes fulfilled. So I also really do strongly feel that balancing the pineal gland and the pituitary gland is really valuable to this whole process. So I was, guided to the whole idea of taking lactic acid or encouraging, the etheric application of lactic acid to your pineal, either way, whether it's like something you ingest or apply etherically to help provide balance to your pineal gland, something that may assist with this process of coming into the full balance that is going to bring about, I think, a lot of this abundance that is, justified and that you've earned. So I hope that all makes sense. What else wants to come through? I'm going to pull a Lemurian card because they're so beautiful. They have such beautiful messages and energies for the week. And we're really opening up into those Lemurian energies. We're really birthing Aries and Aphrodite. And so I really, really felt as I was on the Pacific Ocean, I was really connecting in with the beauty of that, with the purity, with the high frequency of these energies. And so, let's just see what really is of the essence this week to be meditating on and focusing on as we come into having our wishes fulfilled. Okay, so we've got here universe, and it says Metatron, wholeness, commune with all life, micro and macrocosm. So I think this is really beautiful. We've got here again the flower of life, the seed of life in the third eye, awakening. And we've got Metatron's cube, also awakening, which activates in the heart. And so they're both really coming online. And the whole crown is like activating as a result, connecting these, really creating a powerful sense of cosmic connection. And so, I know specifically one of the things I'm going to be doing this week is connecting with the Elohim angels, which are like very high angels that are very close to Archangel Metatron. And I know in the past I've been guided to connect with Archangel Metatron and the Elohim like at the same time when doing certain activation work, especially around the winter solstice portal if you're in the northern hemisphere, or the December 21st portal. So with seeing this, I think it's just really bringing to light the importance of making those connections on 11/11 within the next couple of days. So hopefully you're watching this video before then, ideally, or even if it's soon after, it will still be relevant because there's a certain window of time that these energies are the most potent. And I think it's like really going to bring about that stronger sense of wholeness and help to overcome all of these old programs and genetic kind of manipulations or disruptions that were intentionally creating a sense of separation that wants to be cleared and transmuted at this time. And I do really feel what, it says commune with all of life. I think that's very true. And I think the reflection of that is that there's a lot more stronger communions with your community and with your soul family that are coming into as reflecting that greater truth and healing at a higher level from like the microcosm perspective. And that is how that will be reflected in your physical life, in your daily world. So I think that's really beautiful. Yeah, I feel like this reading is, pretty good as being fairly short and sweet. I would like to do another one right after this for the divine masculine energy and keep it as 2 separate videos. And it's also a little easier if you're watching these in little bits to, not have to like stop in the middle and come back and have that be kind of tedious. And so hopefully you can get through the whole video each time in one shot. So I am sending you so much love. I will be back here in a jiffy to do my divine masculine reading for the week. And I'm sending you so much love and namaste.